Hello and welcome to an instructional video on how to complete ISEF Form 4, Human Participant Form. The Human Participant Form, Form 4, is required for all research involving human participants, including oneself, not at a regulated research institution. A regulated research institution is a professional research/teaching institution that is regularly inspected by the USDA and licensed to use animals covered by the Animal Welfare Act. Examples include the National Institute of Health or the Center for Disease Control. There are many more examples, these are just two. More information about regulated research institutions may be found on page 7 of your ISEF manual. An important note is that this form, Form 4, must be completed before any testing takes place. Starting here at the top, you have where you will put the student's name, the title of one's project, the name of one's adult sponsor, and then the phone, email, or both of the adult sponsor. Underneath, you have this section that must be completed by the student in collaboration with the adult sponsor, designated supervisor, or qualified scientist. These include just a checklist and a yes or no question. Starting with number 1, I have submitted my research plan/project summary, which addresses all areas indicated in the human participants section of the research plan/project summary instructions. More information about this can be found on page 33 of your ISEF manual. When you have done this, you will simply check the box. Moving on to number 2, I have attached any surveys or questionnaires I will be using in my project or other documents provided to human participants. Once you have done this, simply check the box. A subnote of this one is that any published instruments were legally obtained. And if you have done that and ensured that, you will check that box. Moving on to number 3, I have attached an informed consent that I would use if required by the IRB. More information about the informed consent form can be found on page 40 of your ISEF manual. And finally, number 4, which is the yes or no question. Are you working with a qualified scientist? If yes, attach the qualified scientist form 2, and that can be found on page 37 of your ISEF manual. Below this point, all information will be filled out by an IRB. It is the student's responsibility to ensure that this is completed by the IRB, but they themselves are not responsible for filling it out. To start, what is an IRB and why is it important? An IRB stands for an Institutional Review Board, and this is a committee that must evaluate the potential physical and/or psychological risks of any research involving humans. And this includes research and surveys and questionnaires. So federal regulations stress community involvement and encourage IRBs at a school level. An IRB is made up of a minimum of 3 members and must include an educator, a school administrator, and a medical or mental health professional. And again, more information about IRBs can be found on page 6 of your ISEF manual. Once again, to reiterate, student research involving any human participants, including oneself, must be reviewed and approved by an IRB before any interaction with human participants may begin. Good luck on your projects and stay safe.